G'day scrappers. Today I'm just going to do a short and sweet scrap of this Xerox server. I like when I get the old Xerox servers. They're usually pretty good. It's had the hard drive caddy already removed. So let's get into this. Yeah, I've been busy trying to catch up on things. I haven't had a chance to actually make many videos, so I'll probably be doing a few videos in the next few days. Wow. So pretty loaded server actually. So we got the two CPUs here. We've got 7 RAM sticks. Looks like 6 cards, and these cards up here. Yeah, that's why I like these older Xerox machines. I mean, it's not vintage, but it's reasonably old. So hope everyone's still doing okay and surviving all this crazy times. And we're still in stage 4 lockdown, but things are starting to ease a little bit. We can go 25 kilometers from home now if you've got a reason. Like it's all still pretty weird and crazy. I mean, we can go out 25 k's away, but you still got to, it's got to be either for shopping or I don't know. But as I've said before, it doesn't really bother me because this lockdown hasn't really changed what I do, because luckily my business comes under essential service. So wow, how's that for a slot card? Hey, yeah, look at that. I mean, really nice. Probably, some of the best gold fingers for something that's not really old. But wow, it's got 2 gold band crystal oscillators, and look, it's got fingers up here too, really good tanties. But yeah, geez. So this is the kind of board where I remove all the fingers and turn this into a mid-grade board. The only thing is, if once you remove the fingers and turn into a mid-grade board, you also got to take off this bracket for it to be a mid-grade. But that's super nice. Hopefully, no, I thought it was, well, it's a complete different contrast. This one I'll just leave as a slot card because we only got the fingers. We don't, nothing really to remove here. Yeah, so I can leave this heatsink. It's not too big. If it was much bigger than this, you'd have to take off the heatsink, but that'll pass as a good slot card. Still got good weight. This one, same deal. Leave it as a slot card because not worth taking off these tiny little set of fingers here, because we're just going to downgrade the board too much. But we can take nice gold band crystal oscillator again. So that's 3 we've gotten already, and a couple of tantalums, and just leave it as a slot card again. These 3 big ones. Wow, check that. So the fingers aren't still that big for the size, but and look at all these memory IC chips at the back here. It's even got some fingers up the top though. Big gold band crystal oscillator. And yeah, obviously 4 good BGAs under these. So this kind of thing here doesn't go as a slot card. This you would put into server grade board. I mean, it's almost a telecom grade board, but it's not. It's just a server grade board. Well, still better than a slot card. Look at all these MLCCs here. And because it's a relatively old system, you know, I'm going to take all these MLCCs because they look pretty good. And I actually, 1, 2 gold band crystal oscillators. So that's 5 gold band crystal oscillators we've got out of this system, and 7, 9 if they're identical. Yep, look at that. Love it. Back in the day when all these were really common, you know, imagine all the gold that went to waste back in those days, because you know, a lot of this stuff wasn't recycled. It was just thrown straight into the landfill. Sometimes just scrap metal, but a lot of PCs back in this era went straight into landfill. So imagine all the gold sitting in landfill. Quite crazy, actually. So yeah, but even though we can go 25 kilometers away, you can't, you know, go out. Say I can't go street scrapping because that's not a reason to be out. You know, I could say I'm going exercising, but you know, just walking around the streets wouldn't be, you know, certainly not worth the risk of, you know, getting a really big fine. I'd just rather just wait and stay out of everyone's hair. All right. So I think I'll get this motherboard out. Get this DRAM out. It's unusual, 7 RAM sticks. You know, it's usually like 6 or 8. 7 is quite a strange configuration. Still. What are they? Oh, well, they're actually... So this mustn't be a very old system after all, because these are 2 gigabyte, you know, RAMs. So, you know, 7 of them, so that's 14 gigabytes. I'm assuming that, yeah, it can't be that old unless they've upgraded the RAM, but I doubt it. I reckon, you know, they just bought this as a... When they first bought this, it would have been a fully, you know, tricked out system, you know, probably the most expensive they could get in this at the time. Okay, normally I like to take out the power supplies first, but just not sure how this one comes out. Just yeah, because I've already removed the main screws, and it just doesn't seem to want to move. I don't know. But anyway, I'll get the motherboard out. So yeah, I've been a little busy this week with buying boards and stuff, and I have done a couple of pickups and drop-offs of circuit boards. It's been busier than I've expected, but still nothing compared to, you know, before the lockdown. But I think it might be worth it in the end, because we might you know, be totally out of any kind of restrictions by Christmas, whereas I'm not sure the rest of the world is going to be in the same situation. So let's hope. Anyway, let's get these CPUs out. It's like got some nice copper heat sinks. So even more value. Oh well, they're copper aluminium radiators, right? So still okay. Remove these screws. Got little brass risers, can take off, and yeah, I'll just throw the rest into copper aluminium radiator. Still get good money for them. Oh yeah, so yeah, it's well, it's not I series, so pre-I series. Yeah, Xeons, quite small Xeons for servers. And yeah, reasonably, you know, it's just an average server board actually. It's nothing spectacular. At least it is a server board, dual socket. It's got, you know, some decent weight on there, but not a lot for gold recovery in this. It does have one gold band crystal, so I think that's 10 all up out of this system. Yeah, the only thing when you're selling boards to me, make sure you take off these steel clips here. Okay. Remove the battery, take off that, and again, I say to people, you know, especially when it comes to motherboards, server boards, and even mid-grade boards, is you got the wire with the plug. Sometimes I notice people try and get away with this. They'll cut the wire off and they'll leave the plug on there, right? I can't, you know, I don't accept that. I point that out when I get ones like that. You got to remove the plug and, you know, just leave that part, because, you know, even though it doesn't weigh much, it's still it's not very nice. All right, well, I still have no idea how to get this power supply out. It looks like we've got quite a lot of little brass prongs. Looks like I might have to go underneath this, and from the other side there might be some screws. But these brass prongs, I always try and take them 99.9% of the time they're brass. Sometimes in modern day cheap PC towers, like really generic cheap, they look like brass but they're actually steel. But these are definitely brass, and quite a few of them. So I'll just get there's still some more I'll get a little bit later. And I think I have to come in from this end. Yeah. Thought so. There's no other reason for it to be that difficult. I think that's the one that we needed. And let's see what we got here. I mean, worst comes to worst in this sort of situation, you just cut out the wire if you had to leave it in, if you just couldn't work out, but this should be pretty straightforward from here. Just under this clip. It's quite a big power supply, so still got to work out how to get it out. Well, it definitely won't come out this way. This bar, and it's riveted in, so next step, take out this fan. That might do the trick. Golly gosh, it's done. Wow, quite a decent chunk of wire on that. All right, well, one Xerox scrapped out. Just got to clean up some wire here. And we're done. Going to be doing another scrap metal price check video towards the end of the week. I'll be doing a couple of runs to the scrapyard. I've already started to load the van with the first batch, clean pressing steel and insulated copper wire, and then I'll do the brass. And, I've got extruded and irony aluminium to take in, all kinds of things. So I think that should do it. Still got a DVD in here. I'll just get the DVD out and scrap it a little bit later, because it's got the pins on this board, bigger board. Always scrap them out. This part here I'm going to just throw in as dirty pressing steel. Leave the fans on there and stuff. Throw in a bit of rubbish. And yeah, so that's that. It's a seriously heavy power supply. Whoop, unit. Camera started drifting off. So that's pretty good. A decent weight, at least, of a server motherboard. So not a great deal for gold recovery. Well, certainly not for me. There was one gold band crystal oscillator, which I'll just get rid of now. Okay, gold band crystal oscillator, keep that. And that just goes as a scrap server board. These ones are awesome. These would go as server grade board. Again, 2 gold band crystal oscillators. Almost tempted, I'll think about it, to just depopulate the whole thing. Depends on the what kind of chips. So we're just going to have to sacrifice one. Remove one heat sink. Now, well, in this case, you can see it's removing the heat sink. Remove the BGA right off it. Now, I just wanted to look. There we go. Okay, so it's one of these copper top BGAs. They're still good. They'll be good for gold recovery, but I'd rather just leave them on and sell them as server grade boards. 3 of them can still pinch some of the gold fingers, still get server grade. Slot card, another slot, and this one for depopulating because it's just too good. Too many fingers. You know, just bring it down to a mid-grade board. Remove the bracket, 2 gold band crystals, and all these fingers. So, yeah, like, not bad. 7 DRAMs, decent amount of cable, and 2 copper aluminium heat sinks. Pretty darn good, I reckon. So I just wanted to show you this thing before I go. And yeah, as I said, I'll do a bit more of a vintage scrap in a couple of days. And I've got this thing here, and check that out. How many, well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 20, 22, 20. 33 cards. And this is just how it came, so there was no front part, but these are all like, these are video outputs, video inputs, cascade inputs. So it's like, it says sub-rack comms port. Yeah, it's some sort of, obviously a video, might be from a television station or a monitoring system. Hard to say. But so these are on like a backplane board, and they might be relatively easy to get rid of. And I'll show you the cards. Looks like 2 different ones. They kind of alternate from the looks, except for these ones all look the same. Okay, so they're mostly these. Okay, so it's a kind of thing, it's really hard to grade because, you know, you can say, well, is it a server board? And it kind of is, because it doesn't have much rubbish and it's just chips, but there's really not a lot of chips. This one would yeah, probably closer to a mid-grade, like a peripheral, but it does have nice gold fingers. So that's these ones. This one looks a little different. Okay, so that's a little bit better. It's got an EEPROM, but yeah, still, it's not really a server grade board, you know, and certainly not telecom. Does have, you know, again, gold fingers, but they're not the most spectacular gold fingers. And these ones, same deal. Yeah, it's just really hard to, you know, these gold fingers look a little bit better, but just hard to grade this sort of thing, you know. You know, that definitely mid-grade. It's just not enough on there, even though there's no rubbish, just not enough. You know, this is getting closer and there's still no real rubbish, you know, apart from these MOSFETs, because they're basically just like a tinned copper in there. But yeah, so what I'll probably end up doing is I'll be cutting off all these fingers, pins, sorry. So cutting this part out and then just selling them as mid-grade, you know, might take that and the crystal. Yeah. Even the two backplane boards that will be in there, and it's got all the jacks on the other side. Because of the jacks on the other side, these backplane boards, you know, are just low grade because there's too much dead weight on it and there's not much gold recovery, even though there will be gold plating inside this part of it. But I just thought I'd throw this in since I just picked it up last week, and thought, well, before I scrap it out, just to show you how awesome they kind of are. If these were gold fingers, oh, it would be fantastic, you know. Gold pins are a little bit different, but still. And I'm actually tempted to just, because there's only 2 sets of gold fingers, yeah, tempted to just leave this whole thing on. Alright guys, well, I hope that was a bit of fun. It was mostly all about the Xerox, and I just wanted to do a quick scrap for today. And like I said, I got some vintage stuff that I want to do in a couple of days, so look out for that video. It'll be pretty quick. It'll come along quickly. I just wanted to show you one thing. Been getting more boxes, if you remember them, and check out these really deep ones. These are awesome, right? Even this Rockwell Collins Firestorm. Rockwell Collins make all the military stuff. If I can show you how awesome this is. Look at that. Check that. 357 Magnum, 38 caliber pistol, full of ammo, grenades. Who knows? You know, it's sort of like, you know, obviously part of their IT sort of thing, and who knows, they had all kinds of things in there. But yeah, really good. I'm going to repurpose this, and these ones are awesome. Get nice and deep they are. O-ring seal, the lip, keep them waterproof. Got 3 of the big ones, got more of these. Just trying to find place for it. And what came in those big ones are these things. They were still in there. What they are is optical fiber cable, right? But if you can see here, military fiber optic cable. Okay, so not your regular fiber optic cable, military fiber optic cable, and on a nice little spool. Unfortunately, fiber optic cable doesn't have any scrap value because there's no copper inside, it's only fiber. So, but if I can show you here, here's 2 of them that came out of it as well, and that's what they look like. So you got the spool on this side of things. So I wanted to keep these 2 that have got this rack system, because who knows, you know, I'll be able to put some kind of cable. Might be for a compressor cable for one, could be anything. Might even be a super long extension cable for the farm, who knows. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. Anyway guys, still got a lot of stuff to do, but I've took in a lot of boards and stuff recently. Still got all these PlayStations I'm going to have to do a scrap session on. There's a couple of more of these military fiber optic cables, spools. There was 2 spools in each of those boxes. Oh, except one box only had 1. But yeah, I've loaded up all my clean pressing steel into the van. Copper wire, so there's another tub. it's all happening, guys. Yeah, there's a couple more tubs. Yeah, I just got them everywhere at the moment because I'm just waiting to finish scrapping out or cleaning out the side of the house. Don't know if any of you remember, I had a whole heap of scrap steel, and look at that, almost there. Still got a little bit more junk to get rid of, and then I got to sweep out all these leaves that have accumulated, trim some of the trees, and I'm going to start putting in those, if I can fit them in, put in those tubs here and put stockpile stuff in there. You know, a couple I'll just put, you know, who knows, gold recovery things or things that I just want to keep. Take them out of the garage that I got in all the filing cabinets. Might even get rid of some of the filing cabinets to open up more space in the garage. And yeah, because a lot of them are just storage, and so I can put that stuff into these cases, right? Because the whole idea of getting a lot of these cases is not necessarily for today. It's for when I move to the country and I want a you know, I want them 100%, but it's a lot. First, you know, once in a lifetime opportunity to get them. I got to get them now while they're available, and then yeah, they'll come in real handy later. So in the meantime, I'll just use them to make space. And yeah, got heaps in the shed, so building up. I'll probably get one more batch of them. I'll just see how I go. Anyway, guys, I won't go on forever. Keep scrapping. Have fun. Check out the next video in a couple of days. Scrapping some awesome vintage PCs I've got sitting here. 5 1/4 inch floppy jobs. Awesome. All right, guys. I'll catch you next time.